Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we will be featuring the LEGO compatible custom Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 3 Gallimimus. But before we proceed with this video, I'd like to say thanks to YouTube.com Audio Library for this awesome background music. Also, please like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And to be able to support my channel, please do not skip on all the ads on all my videos. Thanks everyone! You may also like to follow me on all my social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LYKA. There I'll be posting some of my exclusive photos and video clips as well. So I'll see you there, guys! The Guess SPC contest winners will be announced later on in the video, but for now, we can proceed with the making of the Gallimimus. Now to begin with, I start with kit bashing, and here I am using the Rex from Toy Story minifigure as the base for the Gallimimus. You can see that I have extended the legs and replaced the first half of the body with this Stigimoloch base. I also extended the neck and used the mini raptors for the head. The Rexy minifigures actually has two studs to it, so I think it's really perfect, very similar to that of the LEGO Jurassic World game Gallimimus. So once I decided that the sculpt is actually perfect already, I did wet sanding to it and then primered it with number 68, Bosnia in gray. Now once that is dried, I'm looking actually for several references, and since Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous has already concluded and I've really enjoyed watching it, there are some photo stills that I got from the internet and I'm actually looking for it. Now, I think it's more yellowish to me than red, so I wanted Gallimimus that still sticks to the Jurassic Park Gallimimus theme. So I'm making this a more yellowish than a pinkish or reddish Gallimimus. The stripes or the markings on the Gallimimus seen in the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous will be considered as well. So those will be recreated later on in the video. And here are the materials which we will be using: some brushes, of course, some paint as well. So I use acrylic paint. So we have Mary's, we have Reeves, we also have Liquitex. Those are the type of paints that we will be using. And I also have here some water, which I place here in a Jurassic Park theme container. Alright, and now we're ready to paint. So the base colors will be a mixture of yellow, ochre, white, a little bit of black, and also some green. This is applied on the entire figure, and I wait for the first coat to dry and then apply it again so that it will have that standard, application to it and there won't be any blotches. Okay, so reviewing the photos that we have here, the Gallimimuses will have this brownish tan color on the back of its body and also the neck. So we will be somehow doing that as well. Also, the tail will have a darker tone to it. So I have mixed the same color here with a little bit of brown and a little bit of black as well. So it will be a little bit more, darker than what we have here from the base color that we have, or the primary color. fine brush here, I'm making several splotches or markings on the arms as well as the legs. So I chose to remake the Gallimimus because in the season 3 for Camp Cretaceous, it played such a beautiful role in terms of bringing back the ties between the relationship of Darius and his father. The Gallimimus, I think, is the favorite one among the dinosaurs that his father mentioned, and so that is why he took the time to get to know these dinosaurs and how beautiful they were. And creating my sort of analogy for this one, I think his father is actually, teaching him some ways on which how family is, because the Gallimimuses would actually move in herds and they move in families, and they wouldn't, leave someone behind when it comes to a certain predator or when they are avoiding certain danger. And although that is not explicitly, mentioned in the season 3 of Camp Cretaceous, you would remember that the Gallimimuses were actually making noise when they saw a herd member or a family member being dragged up the tree and was killed by DE-750. So that was also heartbreaking for me, and that is why that is also one reason that I actually chose to remake the Gallimimus. And on with the painting. So among the certain details that we will be adding to the Gallimimus would of course be those stripes on the back, and also the tail, and also a little bit more, I think, character on the legs would actually provide more character on the Gallimimus custom. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the painting process, and I'll see you at the end of the video on the making of the Gallimimus. And now it's time for the stripes on the tail as well as the back. So the particular color that I will be using this is of course a mixture of brown, burnt sienna in particular, a mixture of red, and some yellow colors that I have some left from the earlier painting that I have for the Gallimimus. So I think the markings on the back portion or the upper back portion of the Gallimimus is actually a little bit lighter than that of the tail. So I mix a little bit of white and yellow with the current brown color that I have, and use this as markings for those on the back. On the other hand, the neck will have almost the same color with that of the tail. So I'm just making several more stripes to this one with heavier stripes on the bottom of the neck, going towards the more distal part, which is thinner, stripes, using this metal pointer that I have. And I guess that's about it for the making of the Gallimimus. I hope you guys like it and enjoyed it as well. Let's now move on with announcements of the guest SPC contest winners, and here are the lucky picks. Tyrannosaurus Rex, Raska, Extreme Phantom GT, Garuman, Dallin, Mimic Production, Oliver, Dinoman, JJ and Sky's Adventures. Congratulations everyone, and now for our top 10 winners.
Top 10.
Maxim Taskayev, Top Jennifer Malin,
Top 8.
Ahistoria Dutor,
Top 7.
Inga,
Top 6.
Burger Tribex Shaggy,
Top 5.
Godzilla Dinosaurs Lizards and all,
Top 4.
Paris Kenkana Ismail,
Top
Minecraft AR,
Top 2.
Timo Beyblade,
Top
and Myanmar. Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next Guess PC contest. Also, if you want to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in that homepage, just click on the community link, it will lead you to all my posts. Oh, how I wish I was Darius at that time. Well, let's proceed with the sub-bricks of the Gallimimus. And let's count it off. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 pieces to this particular figure. Let's start with the head and neck. Let's connect it to the lower jaw. Alright, now let's connect this one to the body. Now let's attach the tail. Then the legs. Let's start with the left one. And then with your right. And of course, the arms. We have here the right and then the left arms. And that actually completes the figure. Chanan! Now it's time for us to have a move on with a closer look. In 3, 2, 1. So here we have the Gallimimus here, and it's actually racing with Moira. And I think Moira's winning this time. The Gallimimus is also based off from the Cretaceous Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Season 3 Gallimimus. You can see here that although the color is a bit gray on the picture, I wanted to have a yellowish tinge to it. Moira is really excited for this one because it's not very often that we have, smaller herbivores such as the Gallimimus. So she's actually excited to have or to be presenting this one to you. She'll be back for some size comparisons, but for now, let us have a closer look. So here's the Gallimimus here on a stand. So you can see here we can attach it to a base plate so that it will stand even in one leg. Actually, even without the stand, this Gallimimus can actually stand still without the base plate. And we have here, of course, if you're going to take a look closely, we have several stripes on the Gallimimus. It's basically colored yellow with a little bit of reddish tone to it on the back side. It can have several more poses to it. The tail end is, a curved, and it has 2 studs on the back. For the articulation, it can actually open its mouth like so, and you can actually twist its head from right to left. It also has, articulation on the legs as well as the arms, and you can actually twist the tail so that it have several more poses to it. I think the Rex from Toy Story minifigure really did its job when it comes to, the base figure. I think it's really perfect for it, so I also plan to have several more. Well, that's it for the closer look. Let's now move on with the size comparisons on the Gallimimus. So I'm bringing back Moira here for it to be, compared with the Gallimimus in terms of, human to dinosaur proportion. And I think based on from the photo that we have here, the Gallimimus is just around the same size or just about the right size and proportion with that of the actual dinosaur figure. And Moira will be back later, but now let's compare this Gallimimus custom of mine with the Lego Gallimimus. Now, among the differences would be, of course, the number of studs on the back. You can see that the Gallimimus here will have 2 studs on the back, very similar to the Gallimimus that we have for Jurassic World, the game Gallimimus. And although my Gallimimus would have the same arms or the same hands for this one, it has painted fingers or painted claws to it. The head and neck is actually longer, and I think the head scope on my Gallimimus is more accurate. The legs and the feet on this Gallimimus that I have is actually more in keeping with that of the Jurassic World, the game Lego. And also, the leg is also longer based off from its comparison. The tail is also, curved, more curved, and will have, a removable one compared to that of the Gallimimus Lego that we have. Well, anyways, I think Lego really did a good job with the Gallimimus, but since I did have, several Gallimimuses before, I'm going to compare that as well with my newer Gallimimus. So it also has two studs on the back. It is actually taller than it is usually is. The neck is also longer, but the tail is not removable. You can see here also that the feet that I have for this Gallimimus is also bigger compared to that of the Gallimimus that I have now. There is also missing articulation on the head section, so it cannot open and close its mouth. It's pretty much fixed. So I think it is such an improvement based off from, or at least compared to the Gallimimus that we have from before, which I actually absolutely love. But the more articulations or the more pieces to it, I think I'm happier. Well, I'm still keeping my previous Gallimimuses even though. Now it's time for us to move on with the size comparisons with my other extinct Rex creations, such as this Dinosaurus. Now this Dinosaurus is actually based off from the Jurassic World Evolution Dinosaurus. I think it has a good character design to it. The yellow head is really cute and I just love it. And moving on with the next comparisons, this is the extinct Rex Stygimoloch. Now, the Stygimoloch here is actually one of my favorite things to look at because the color here is so amazingly cute. I love the striping on the back, the contrast of those orange with that whitish underbelly is really flattering for this actual animal. Also, the head sculpt is really amazing how I did it. So, actually, it's one of my favorites aside from the Pachycephalosaurus. Well, moving on with the next, this is the extinct Rex Parasaurolophus. Now, the Parasaurolophus actually appeared several times already in the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous series. It was in two different variants. You have here the bioluminescent Parasaurolophus and also a bioluminescent one. I think that is such a cool thing to do as well. So, who knows? We'll see if I will be making a bioluminescent variant of a Parasaurolophus someday. And moving on with the next size comparison, we have here the extinct Rex Baryonyx. Now the Baryonyx, although this is not very similar to the Baryonyx that you see in the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous series, this is actually based off from the Jurassic World website, Baryonyx, which is actually a website that was created during the times when Jurassic World was being created or being filmed. I think the actual design and the colors on this particular carnivore is really good. Those turquoise colors on the hands or on the eyes are actually really good to look at. And on with the next comparison, this is the extinct Rex Spinosaurus. Now this Spinosaurus is actually based off from the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. I know guys that there have been talks on whether or Camp Cretaceous Season 4 would occur in Isla Sorna. Probably there would be, an appearance of the Spinosaurus there. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it would be cool, but most of the Spinosaurus fans, including me, is actually hoping for that one to be considered because the Spinosaurus is such a wonderful creature and Spinosaurus on Camp Cretaceous Season 4 would be really awesome. So what do you guys think? I'd like to see or share your opinion on this one. Are you okay with that, Mr. Spinosaurus? Well, it's now time for us to have the species roll call on this particular set. But before that, I know we're still on, Camp Cretaceous week, and I'd like to see you guys, comment below on what other creatures you'd like to see next. I think E750 is actually leading, and who knows, we might get it someday here. Also, Moira here would like to announce or remind you guys that all that you see here, all of the the creatures that you see here is actually available in the Extinct Bricks playlist, so check them out if you haven't. But I will be placing several more links on this later on, so you'll just click on it and you'll directly watch the video. And on with this PC roll call, we have here the Dinosaurs, the Stygimoloch, we also have here the Parasaurolophus, we also have here the Jurassic World Baryonyx, Chomp on my finger, better luck next time, guy. And then of course the Spinosaurus that we have here. And of course the star of the show, the Gallimimus. So now ending the video, so let's have the last looks on the Gallimimus. Gallimimus actually is a Latin word for gallus meaning chicken and mimus meaning mimic. Thus this is the chicken mimic. It lived in the late Cretaceous period in China around 70 million years ago and is part of the Ornithomimidae family. It can grow up to a length of 20 feet, a height of 6.3 feet, and a weight of 440 kilograms. Wow, that's a big ostrich. And here is Moira racing with the Gallimimus. I hope Moira wins, but on the back of my mind, well, the Gallimimus is the one to bet on. And that ends our video. I hope you guys like it. Please also don't forget to support our other channels, Ibito Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and support our channel as well by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino brick roar!